Assault and batteries, but my trunk stay ever ready. Assault and battery, if you scared, you never ready.
Okay, this video is going to be about one of the best angles I think I've seen in wrestling in quite a long time, where just you see a guy and he just beats the hell out of another guy, and you don't see that too often. You saw with the Nexus where it's like the crowd goes in silence. You can hear the pin drop, as they say. And Triple H beating up Daniel Bryan to the extent that he did. Sure, it wasn't a bloody mess like, it would have been in 1998 or 1999, but it was definitely pushing the limit for what you see in 2014, and I think that's what made it so special. For me, that's what made it special, and it's just it was a never-ending beatdown. It was like Triple H, he beat him, and then he threw him around, and then he threw him to a table, and it was just Triple H having fun. It was just seemed like a playtime thing where a guy just pulverizes another guy, and you heard the commentators were speechless, and there was no commentary during that whole beatdown, and it was perfect. I think you couldn't have done it any better. And the fact that when you look back on the whole Occupy Raw thing, you knew Daniel Bryan was going to get a beatdown, whether it be on SmackDown, but probably not on SmackDown, but most likely on Raw. You knew Triple H wasn't going to take that lying down. You saw that old cerebral assassin, so to say. You saw him come out on Monday, and he laid the biggest beatdown, I think, of Daniel Bryan, well, probably not of his whole career, but definitely in his WWE career. I have not seen a single guy get beat down like that in a very long time. You really compare it to what Brock Lesnar did to John Cena at Extreme Rules, but this is like Triple H is Triple H. He's walking around with his, his lats all sticking out, and Bryan's such a timid, small guy, and I think that's what just makes the beatdown more hard to watch, because Bryan isn't a big guy. Sure, he's built, but he's about 5'6", 5'7", maybe 5'9". Triple H is a monster compared to him, and I think that's, I know Batista, I'm a big fan, but I'm biased saying that Batista's right. People like Bryan because they can compare to him. He's not the biggest guy. He might not be, superstar looks, but he's a fighter. And I think people attract to that, much like they did to Rey Mysterio, much like they did to Eddie Guerrero. They can appreciate a guy who can put up a fight and go in the ring. Where you got guys like Batista, just saying, biggest Batista fan around. You got a big guy, movie star, whatever, can't work, but he gets all the spotlight. That's another thing, and that's why people turn on him, because I think the wrestling business has kind of changed where it's not about looks, it's not about built, mass. It's about how good you can go in the ring, and now there's a certain expectation I think fans want from their wrestlers, and that's why the Shield are so over, and that's why Bryan's so over, and that's why Punk, I think, was over, and that's why people boo Randy Orton, John Cena, and Batista. Unfortunately, Batista. So, yeah, just the sheer beating. I wish I would have made this video earlier, but, just been busy with things. But really wanted to just say that the beatdown Triple H put in, he looks bigger than, he looks in great shape also. And he's been wearing a suit for the past, I guess, for a year almost. You haven't really seen him fight anyone. And just, he took off his shirt, and it's like, damn, Triple H is back. And, the guy's going to be, you were afraid for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Although Bryan's going to end up in the main event, Triple H isn't going to just take it lying down. Is pretty much what the message I got out of it. And I'm looking forward to it. I really wanted this match to be at WrestleMania. I didn't want to see Punk versus Triple H. I thought it should have always been Bryan versus Triple H, because the match has been going, the feud has been going since August, and that's the payoff. It should have been at WrestleMania all along. And I guess for fans, it's just the cherry on top to have Bryan in the main event and to possibly have him win the world title. Even though Batista's winning, you got to deal with that. So that's all. I'll see you guys in the next video.